Hi, my name is Mialise Carney and I'm a first-year MFA student in fiction. I am grateful for the opportunity to read in this series. Right now I'm writing a lot about autonomy, disconnected relationships, and our society's obsession with needing to be useful or productive. So I'm going to read a few paragraphs from my short story, Mother Charges Me Per Minute, which is forthcoming in your impossible voice. Mother charges me per minute. I sit in her cream-colored office, my ankles tucked delicately behind one another, clammy hands clasped and bunching sweatily into the thick folds of my skirt. Mother sits across from me in her winged-back chair, clock ticking dutifully behind her softly permed head. Mother checks her wristwatch, reaches for her pad of paper and silver bullet pen, and says, "Let's begin." I begin. The words slosh out of me like old cream, fluid but coagulated, splashing messily back into my face and dribbling down my chin. I try to calculate how to make the most of my money, to say all that I have without racking up a debt. But I stumble, my voice cracks, splits, and I croak. Mother senses the sweat pooling in my armpits, clucks her dry tongue, doesn't look up from her doodles but warns I slow down. The ticking clock punches through my quaking, but I try to ignore it. Mother sets the clock fast, a trick she taught me when I was young. She likes me to be indebted to her, even if she has to cheat to do it. I have to work overtime if I ever want to afford her interest rates, so I'm careful to count. I tap my fingers against my cratered thigh, tremble with nausea, worry I'll never be able to fit it all in. I am allotted 1 hour, 60 minutes of her pure and undivided attention, but I can't usually afford the full 60. Today, I've only saved up enough for 23 and a half minutes. 23 and a half minutes to tell Mother why I'm saying goodbye. I have always worked to talk to Mother. I go to university, so one day I will make enough money to talk to Mother as long as I like, and perhaps one day even enough for Father. I work extra long hours so I can speak to Mother. I work extra long hours so I can afford to tell Mother about how I worked extra long hours. I work at a plastic packaging plant, but I don't work on the assembly lines, not like my friend Julia. Her sharp fingers are all cut up and scarred from the edges of slick, warm containers that will one day play home to limp salads and french fries. Julia's rates are low, only a $50 per minute. Most times that's all I need. I am a tour guide. I wear low chunky heels that click and clack against the tile, and a forest green plaid skirt I get up before dawn to press. I hold a clipboard in the bend of my arm with lots of information on it that doesn't mean anything, but looks very official. And I take groups of tittering school children around the plant to show them the plastic sheets and the silver conveyor belts that thump heavily all hours of the day. I lean down to the children's faces and stare into their round, glistening eyes. One day you too, I say, could work in a place as nice as this. You too will make enough to pay your rates. Thank you.